Ecuador. Ecuador is a beautiful country that it has a lot of biodiversity and at the same time has people who really likes to work. There are many cultures. There are different beliefs. Also there are different regions that depending where they are, they dress differently. There are different views, beautiful views. Our president is Rafael Correa Delgado. He is the president of our country. But actually, we are suffering terrible economic crisis. But the price of the oil, but not only that, but people are suffering a lot. People are they have a lot of needs. Well, the the problem that we have actually is that last April 16 occurred a terrible earthquake. And people are suffering a lot. The earthquake left a lot of death and a terrible economical situation for the coast where was the terrible area. Ecuador is a beautiful country. Really, it's beautiful. But actually, we are not good and we need help. And that's why we interview a excellent person that we are going to hear. Good afternoon, viewers. My name is Ariana Rojas Cevallos, and next to me is the Dr. Arias. Well, he has a PhD in economical resources in the University of Missouri, United States of America. He is graduated from Zamorano of a class 1974. He has a BS in agronomy in New Mexico State University. Also, he has an MBA in finance from the Central American Institute of Business Administration in Cairo. And additional, he has a master's degree in agriculture economics in the University of Missouri too. You have studied a lot, right?
Yeah, all my life. That's what my father said. This guy has been studying all his life.
And you keep studying.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Reading, knowledge is good.
It's a pleasure for me to be here and doing this interview. As you know, the last 16 April in Ecuador happened a dreadful earthquake that left a lot of death, and the economical situation actually is terrible. And according to the CEPAL, the economical situation decreased 2.5%. That was before the last year. And also in the public sector, incomes decreased 11% in comparison with the last year. So it's just terrible what is happening there. What do you think? I will doing some question about the economy. So what do you think of the earthquake? Is a principal? Do you think there is a principal cause of a economical crisis that is happening in Ecuador?
I think the earthquake accelerated the production of economic activity in the country. Earthquake affect the infrastructure, and given that situation, production went down and unemployment went up. So income, of course, went down. But this is just sudden movement that I think accelerated the recession Ecuador was getting into because of the oil crisis. I think what really originated the recession in Ecuador was the oil crisis. And the earthquake also, which was a sudden movement, accelerated the reduction of waves.
So it just helped it.
Yeah, exactly. Accelerated actually.
Okay. How many years do you think that will take to Ecuador to recover all the kind of?
It's hard to tell. I think it will depend on the government policies and also on the public reactions, especially investors. I know the Ecuadorian economy is very dynamic, especially in the agricultural sector. So I would say if they set up the right type of policies, I think Ecuadorians will react rapidly.
What kind of policies do you recommend?
Okay, they have to have some sort of incentives to the production, you know. I would say direct intervention on the production side. So, for instance, shrimp production was seriously affected by the earthquake, for where the government will intervene directly with easy loans, subsidies, and this type of thing.
How should people have to react in front of this situation?
I think people is reacting positively. I mean, people. I mean, the Ecuadorian investors and entrepreneurs are very dynamic. The Ecuadorian economy is pretty dynamic. Compare, for instance, with the Honduran economy. Ecuadorian economy is more dynamic. So I think they will react positively. However, the government also has to react with the same pattern, with the same trend. They have to come up with a nice fiscal and monetary policies that will incentivize the investment.
Okay, and you know that after 3 days of the earthquake, the government took the decision of to increase to more the percentage of taxes. So actually, it's 14%. Do you think that is a good option?
What kind of tax is that? The value tax?
Yeah, the value tax.
Added tax? I don't think it's a good decision. If I were the president, or if I were part of the government, what I should do is reduce taxes. I think that would be better than increase taxes. So I don't know. I think due to ideology of the government, the current government, they're thinking increasing government intervention, direct intervention will help the economy. And I'm not agree with that. I think what should do is reduce taxes, and that by itself, plus the entrepreneur reaction, will help the economy.
Okay, that sounds better than the decision that I've taken.
I think so.
Yeah. What do you think about the government should be investing on by the donations?
Infrastructure, because that was the first damage. I will invest in infrastructure. I will help, shrimp producers, all this fail along the coast. I will help them. Roads, infrastructure, dams, that kind of thing.
Another interesting question is, how do you think the mediocre people will react? Do you think they will work harder than before, or they just will stay there?
I don't know. That's a hard question. I don't know. For me, people react to economic incentives. So it doesn't matter who you are. If you receive direct incentives, you will react positively.
What I heard is that actually what the government do is send psychologists to kids to motivate them.
That's a good reason. I guess probably the kids got damaged by this earthquake. Yeah, I think it's.
So maybe they
It's a
will
good measure,
work
I would
more
say.
than their parents.
I don't know. I think for me, I'm an economist. I think people react to economic incentives better.
Oh.
So if the kids see that become an engineer is a good business, they will become an engineer. The kids see setting an enterprise is a good return for them. They will do that. But if the kids see that even though you become an engineer, you don't get a job, they won't do that. So incentives is the part of the game which is very important for society.
Okay. What do you think of Ecuador in 10 years from now?
I think they will recover. I think, particularly, I think the people in Ecuador are very dynamic. The problem is the macroeconomics policies that are affecting them right now. Probably by then they will have another government with another set of policies and they will react positively. We'll say in 10 years they will be okay with new governments, with new policies.
I hope so. Um, can you explain me how the trade affect Ecuador's economy from the micro and macro levels?
Well, in terms of micro, prices went up. Prices of inputs, particularly, went up because the road got damaged, so the transportation costs went up. In terms of macro, the trade of the balance of trade was damaged. So export went down and imports went up. So they created deficits, a trade deficits. So I think those are the more direct impacts. Eventually, this type of impact will spill over the rest of the economy.
I want to do another question that is not involved at all with the earthquake, but if with the oil in Ecuador, the price.
Mm-hmm.
What how can do the principal source of Ecuador is the oil. So how Ecuador can
Improve?
improve the money that the
Increase
oil
income
yeah
from oil?
from oil.
It doesn't depend on Ecuador, it depends on the world market. So if the world market of oil increase, if the demand of oil increase, then the prices will increase. If in the supply side, if the oil producer countries get organized and reduce supplies, price will increase. There are some people who, in some economies, that forecast the price will be up. And there are other economies that forecast the price will be down. So in that particular point of view, my own view is the prices will be up very slowly and not at the historical level. So in summary, the prices will adjust up, but not at the same rate in the past. So we ain't gonna see prices like $80 the barrel of oil. We probably will see prices like $50 the price of it. This is my point of view, my particular point of view.
It's a very controversial topic.
Mm-hmm. So
Depending on the point
it
of view.
depends, yeah. I have a good friend of mine who is my mentor. He's betting on prices of oil reaching record heights. He's betting on the stock market, and so for me that's crazy. But that guy knows more than me, so I don't know.
I don't believe you. You know a lot. Well.
That guy was my advisor, and
Oh.
it's my professor. So
What is like the?
he's really smart. He's very smart guy.
Where do you meet him?
I met him last month. I went to University of Missouri for a week and was with him. We were talking.
Oh,
Mhm.
that's so great to hear. Well, I want to say thank you for your time. Was a very good interview. I learned a lot today. Thank you.
My pleasure.